Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, December 10th, 2023. Okay, feels like a couple weeks ago these two teams were slugging it out. Okay, Kansas City Chiefs will be going down to Orchard Park over here to take a look at the Buffalo Bills giving up 40 over under 45 and a half, and the Bills at home will be giving the Kansas City Chiefs and Tay-Tay 3 points. Brady, how do you feel about Tay-Tay getting a box in Orchard Park and coming down to make sure her Kansas City Chiefs and her Travis Kelce end up winning this game? Do you think that the Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia are going to have anything to say about Tay-Tay coming down, Brady?
I mean, hey, the Buffalo Bills have been a surprise, both good and bad, all season long, playing to the best of them, playing to the worst of them. We just talked on the Bucs game. That was one of the opponents where the Bucs took it to them and almost beat the Buffalo Bills. Everyone's getting ready to write the Buffalo Bills off because that was one of the games. If Buffalo didn't win that, they could have saw themselves out of the playoffs. They went from being out of the playoffs up to the 2 bracket by going on like a 6-game win streak. Hats off to them, bravo! You pulled it off, and you look like one of the best teams in football, including another team facing the Kansas City Chiefs and beating them. Their week 14, 15, whatever it was. Good football game, hard nosed. Bills took that one in KC, so you got to expect then that the Bills should be able to do something similar here at home, playing in their environment. Both teams are used to the cold. They both played in snow last week, some blizzards last week, so ain't nothing new for either of these teams. They know how to run in it. They know how to jump. They can fly. They can do what they things. But the way the Buffalo Bills are playing, they're taking it to you right now. They're turning everything on. They got the Jets going. Despite what everything the KC is able to do, they still had their troubles last week. If it wasn't the fact that Miami couldn't do anything, I think it could have been a ugly game for the Chiefs. So I like the Buffalo Bills here, covering the points. Give me the over because I do think both teams, high-powered offenses, creative minds, coachings. So I think there's lots of points in this game, but I do think Buffalo Bills win and cover.
Yeah. This was the hardest one out of the game for me. Obviously, the spread indicates it too, only being 2.5, 3 points, I think, at this point in time. Bills are hot. KC looked good last week. They handled business, what they had to do. I think this one comes down to, for me, it's the Chiefs' defense against Josh Allen, preventing the extra part from Josh Allen and kind of baiting him into that Superman ball that he is easily drug into. I like the linebackers a lot for KC, Tranquil, and I think there's the situation. I like the over on this game first and foremost. I think both teams are gonna find points in this game. Although KC has struggled to put it in the end zone, but I do think they find ways just based off of the scheming of Andy Reid and the coaching staff. I think they're going to be able to punch some holes in the Bills defense and put up some points. I like this one right down to the end, like it usually happens with these two teams. I like it 27-26 KC. Much as the Bills have that firepower there, it's those variables that concern me about their team offensively, Josh Allen specifically. And I don't like that volatility. I know what I'm going to get out of KC matchup. I feel like Mahomes is going to do everything in his power, but it does bother me on the other side of the field with Buffalo's defense. They're playing with their hair on fire. No doubt about it. They're taking the ball away. Those edge rushers are coming to play. Greg Rousseau out of Miami has just been an absolute beast. 6'6", hit off the edge is nasty, but they did take some hits to the linebacking core, and they have been banged up all year on defense. So it's very evenly matched teams. Evenly matched teams. I think this game's going to show that it's evenly matched, and I side with KC on this one. I definitely like KC getting the points at the very least, but I think KC wins the game. I think this one goes over. I see him getting to the 20s. It's a fun game. Great way to end divisional weekend. How about you, Ed?
Yeah, I mean, the DBs for KC are just really playing lights out. You know what they did to a really fast and speedy Tariq Hill and Jalen Waddle. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take the Chiefs with the points. I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna, I think Mahomes is gonna make less mistakes in this situation. I think it comes down to Allen and Mahomes, and as good as Allen has been, I still think that his fiery instinct gets him into too much trouble. He takes more chances than he should and need to because he has this ability. Not that he's full of himself, but he's just confident in his ability. And sometimes that confidence really gets in the way of making the right decision and the decision you should have made. But, I really see him a lot of the times try to do too much. We didn't talk about Lamar doing that this season, and look how successful they are. But he's a dynamic runner when he runs with the ball. I just think Patrick's been here before. They all know what it tastes like. They were just here yesterday. I just think that the Bills have to do too much to win this game at home, and asking them to stay mistake free, I don't know that they will. So for that reason, I'm gonna take the Bill. I'm gonna take KC getting the 3 points or whatever it's gonna end up panning out to be. I think the Bills are right there. They're right there. They got cooked, 1,100-yard back. Finally, they got 1,000-yard back. He's there. They're moving in the right direction, Buffalo. They're right there. They're a draft away. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I can't put the thumb down on it. I think Mahomes, this is going to be a matchup that we're going to see to come, but I just think that Mahomes will edge this one out, and that defense is playing crazy. It's a little bit more scary to me than Buffalo's.
That's fair. I mean, you said it. Those defensive backs for KC have been top notch. You saw what they did to Miami, but at the same time, that's Miami, a team who doesn't play in the cold, a team who is 0-7 or 0-10 in sub 40. And you're talking freezing weather. So, of course, I don't know how you could have pictured Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle just magically being perfectly fine playing in a blizzard versus playing on the beach,
Well, I mean, Hill was on KC originally.
Yeah, but
Waddle I could see, but he played in Alabama. It gets cold down there.
Yeah, it's all right. But at the same time, it's still playing for Miami. He's still got the quarterback Tua throwing to him, a quarterback that doesn't play well in the cold either. It's all these factors. You have a Josh Allen who plays well in snow. You have a Stephon Diggs who plays well in snow. Now, yes, those defensive backs held Diggs in check last week, but they just moved it along to the next guy. Diggs was only 4 of 11. Okay, fine. I'm going to dump it off to James Cook because you guys don't think we're a viable run team. So he ate that game versus KC. He had 83 yards receiving alone on just 5 catches. So there's options there for the Buffalo Bills that exceed the defensive backs of KC to stop them.
No doubt. I mean, this is going to be a straight banger. And like Charlie said, this is definitely coming down to the wire. Absolutely.
But the biggest factor for me is that I feel like there's an underlying pressure on the Buffalo Bills. I think they're going to feel it in the game. Can they overcome the in-game pressure? Yeah, because they've come up short in the past couple of years. We've all looked at the Buffalo Bills like, Josh Allen's got more than enough talent to do this. The team is talented themselves, but they've come up short the past 2 years in dramatic fashion too. And it's going to be there. That feeling is going to be there at some point during this game. Are they going to be able to shake it? And we know from Mahomes on one side and Chris Jones on those boys on the other side, they're going to put the pressure on Josh Allen. and this whole Buffalo team, but was specifically Josh Allen. And you hit the nail on the head. The kid's got all the abilities. He does not lack those tools. So it's not a matter of being overconfident, but it's a matter of getting out of that just eyes roll back in your head, great white shark type of mentality to where you realize, listen, I'm not out here doing this myself. I have teammates and stuff, and trusting in them, because that's what helped propel them along the way. Josh Allen didn't put them on their back and carry them to those 6 straight wins. It was Cook, like Brady highlighted. It was the elevated play by the defense. If you got to let one go and maybe not, make that ill-advised throw or that ill-advised extra try to break a tackle type of moment and you fumble the ball, then that's how you're able to move forward. Because every team that we've talked about up until this point, we've talked about how good of a team they are. Buffalo is a good team. Allen has had points in his career quite often sometimes to where it feels like he's forgot that he is a part of a team in moments. He's got to keep his head, show the maturity of who we just talked about, Baker Mayfield, and just dial some of that back and make the plays when you got to make the plays, because he's capable of them. But that's the part that worries me with Buffalo.
Absolutely. I mean, he's capable of doing everything. I mean, there's nothing there's no throw he can't make. There's nothing he can't do. It's just I think that this is a limited time to be able to be in this game, and you can't make mistakes. There's no making mistakes, because I feel like you make a mistake on this Chiefs defense, they will capitalize. I'm not saying it's not going to be the other way around, right? But to me, Mahomes is going to make better decisions with the ball, and I'm trusting more in Mahomes to make the better decision than I'm trusting in Josh Allen to make that decision in the playoffs where it's needed. I mean, we just haven't seen him get over the hump, just like we haven't seen really Lamar get over the hump. Not saying that they can't, but I'm just saying on this day, these 4 quarters, I don't think he will. But very well could. I mean, this one goes both ways. Either team could take this.
The way the Chiefs have played all year, Mahomes has had his struggles. He's turned the ball over way more than he usually does too. So there's a scenario to where Buffalo handles them quite easily. I could see 27-13.
Yeah.
Easily. That was just going to be my 2 cents on it, was the fact that I can't trust Mahomes to make the better decisions this year. I can't do it. He has not proven it at all this year. He's gotten lucked out by this stellar defense.
And it has to do with his
his
team too.
His personnel and team. Like he's not trying to do it all. He's trying to distribute it, and his team's kind of letting him down. And he's also making some riskier throws now that because he might be trying to do too much because he has to kind of overcompensate for the lack of the team.
Yeah.
We've seen Kelsey drop a number of passes last week too, and that's supposed to be Mr. Dependable. If he's dropping passes, like that's worrisome. That's
Absolutely.
worrisome. As good as Pachenko's been, that offensive line for KC has not been stellar. And like I said, Buffalo's getting after the passer. Like they're not going to give him a lot of time to make these choices. So those receivers are going to have to play at another level to beat the Bills.
Absolutely. This Kansas City Chiefs is a team. It ran at the helm with Patrick Mahomes here, is a team that we've never seen before. We've never seen this many mistakes out of an Andy Reid-driven Kansas City Chiefs team with Patrick Mahomes at the helm. We've never seen it. So it's almost like Mahomes is having a mirror image season of a struggling season that Allen has had once before, and Allen's kind of like not having it down the stretch here. They're looking good. Buffalo looking really good here, and both teams in the playoff look really good. I mean, if we're just deleting the regular season, both of these teams look very good. Both look as though they're going to come in. This is going to be probably one of the best matchups we end up watching. A very electric game because all the other games could go left or right and not come back from that. This is one of those games that I think could definitely be back and forth, forth and back with a little bit back and forth, to be honest. I mean, this very well could be one of those games, folks.
For sure. For sure. And we talked about it during the season plenty of times, like the home field advantage thing. Like Buffalo went from the 6 seed to the 2 seed, and home field advantage is big. But then you got on the other side, you got championship experience.
Yeah.
Multiple championship experience on the other side of the field.
I'll take it.
It's tough. This one,
I'll take it.
great way to wrap up Sunday.
I'll take it. Yes, sir. The fourth and back, folks. The back and forth. You better watch out now. You're on a hammy swinging back and forth like a pendulum. Who's it going to be? Mahomes or Allen? Who are you picking? Buffalo's defense or Kansas City's defense? Taking that Chris Jones? Man, I don't want to get in that guy's way. Yeah, you got Ed Oliver on the other hand, too, so watch out. He'll run you down. He'll run you down. Ladies and gentlemen, you ain't got nothing else to add here, folks. That's it. That's what we got here. Running routes, wrapping it up. Sunday's playoff game, divisional round, blow for blow. It's going crazy here, folks.
Yeah, to all my family up north, my heart is definitely with the Bills winning it. Hopefully they pull it out.
Let's go.
Deuces.
Running routes. Playoff time, baby. Playoffs.